Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a good day. Today I woke up with news from my husband, and we live in the same household. Yeah, he texted me. Anyway, that's how our household works. So, this picture, so they updated on the Pokemon XP website. For those that are attending, you might want to browse through it because they updated the FAQ section specifically about around the Pokemon Center, which is probably what everyone's interested in. So this year the changes are only those with passes, as in spectators passes or participant pass, whatever passes basically you paid for the attending. You can go to register soon, not yet, but soon, to register for the Pokemon Center. The hours is here that you can see. But what is interesting is they're gonna have two themes. There's Pokemon. There's the Pokemon Center store hours, which you see here. The picture looks very close to the Super Bowl event that they have in Moscow before. It looks so close that I'm just wondering if it's the same venue. Anywho, but the interesting part, they're gonna have two. So there's a Pokemon Center location that you see in the screenshot here. And then if you scroll, there's the outpost is here. Outpost. That they call it on the Rayquaza Road. I don't know where's the Rayquaza Road because they put where's the Pokemon Center is, but they didn't put where's the Rayquaza Road is in the FAQ. Anyway, you can see that hours are very different. The hours here start so early at 8, not 9, 10 like the other place. But there are difference. They sell different goods, products, or whatever you call it. The Rayquaza one actually sells less, specifically. There's also print trading and stuff just like last year. So there's like two places. There's the Moscow Center and there's the Marriott. Just like the card trading, the San Francisco card trading is also in the Marriott hotel. I don't know how that works logistically speaking because it sounds like a logistic nightmare. Actually, I was kind of surprised they did it because they can. The reason why I said this is it me? Does it mean it opens to public versus not open to public? Kind of, because they had that last year. They have the Pokemon Labs events, which are open to public for people that cannot get the pass. They can still enjoy some part of the event, versus the other part is you need a pass to get in, kind of. Well, they didn't really check the pass last year, but it sounds like they're going to really enforce this year, and I'm going to go there after. I'm going to talk more specifically. But the hours you can see is different. They're going to have everything in two locations, which is like, how can they ensure? Because it's a hotel, right? Anyone can go there. It's not like just past participants can go there. So it almost sounds like you don't need to be a participant. You don't need a pass to get into the event. So go back to the Rayquaza. The hours are different, and they actually, if you look at the learn more, I think it's the FAQ. Do you need the pass to go to the center store? They said yes, you need the badges in order to go there, basically, and the reservation to start. It's not starting yet, but you can, and you have to pick up your badge. Last year, when you pick up the badge, you're gonna need to show your name on a ID, like say government issued ID or something, to show that you're you when you pick up the pass. Kind of, it's kind of like your. You know how like you go to opera show or you go to Broadway show, you pick up the tickets sometimes, kind of for someone you're gonna check your names and stuff like that. So it's kind of like that. And then everyone need a badge except your kid, basically, in short. That would be the easiest way to put it. And you can only attend once. So what happened is last year for those, the Pokemon Center is open to everyone, so you can just. If you're fast, you snatch your spots, then you can sign up, kind of. My husband didn't do the sign up last year. And because I'm not doing this year, he's on his own, and I'm telling him how it works, and I'm telling you guys as well. You need to sign up and not ponder too long. Is that the right word? Yeah, I think that's the right terms. So you know how like you put something in the cart, like say Best Buy or I don't know, like Ticketmaster, you put it in and you have like maybe like 5 minutes to check out or something, secure your item or secure whatever you're doing, right? It was not the same thing last year in Pokemon Center registration. You basically try to click as quickly as possible and as accurately, by the way, as possible to sign up your slot. And once you're done, you're like done. You're not going to try to change it because it's going to be a nightmare to change it. You want to make sure you figure out your time and just go in and do it right the first time. Because if you're slow, it's not going to be locked that slot for you for 5 minutes so then no one else can do it, kind of. You might be in the process of entering your information and by then it's gone and then you have to pick another time slot right away and then become a nightmare, kind of. That's what I was saying is a nightmare. My husband didn't do any of that last year, so yeah. So that's why I'm just kind of like putting this video for him and for everyone. Just make sure you know what you're doing and just do it, kind of, and quickly, like, you have plan B, like you can switch. Let's say, for example, for those that have been Disney, and if you know what I'm talking about, you book the Disney restaurants, you know how you like stay up at 6, I think? I was at 6, I think, at the time zone of that area, and just start booking the darn restaurants, and even you're up at 6, when you click, if you're 1 minute early, you cannot go in. When you're there, you cannot secure the time slot you want, because originally we planned to go to dinner at 5, and it's like, okay, what is there? Like, 5 is gone. What's plan B? Like 7. Okay, try 7. No, 7 is gone too. 7:15. No, kind of like that. So it's not too hectic if you know what you're doing. Just be prepared. Like, don't focus on the time you want, really. Focus on a bunch of time you could make it instead. And of course, like, participants, they are going to secure times that are early before the public's opening day, as in before Friday, because they have to participate, so they have to participate in the tournament, right? So they don't have time to go La La Land. I was very surprised they don't put a Pokemon Center in Chase, to be honest. I was surprised they put in Moscow and whatever that Rayquaza place that no one knows where it is yet because they didn't announce. They asked you need to make a reservations and you can only enter once. Last year, for example, say for example, if I want it, my husband can register for me. So he's going to register him +1 in the party. And because I have the pass, I can register myself and say +1 and I can bring a random public, like, friend in, kind of. So it could be 4 of us, even though in theory only the 2 of us has a pass. Kind of like that. It didn't work this way this year. It's basically like, you probably could reserve and kind of mess up the system in terms of the reservation wise. Not saying you should do it. Don't do it. Like, God, don't do it. But they're gonna scan your pass and you can only enter once. So even if you reserve twice, say, your husband bring me in, for example, and I have another time slot for like tomorrow, I cannot use it because I already entered with him. So you can only enter once. So just like if you're going with someone, it's someone in the first place has the event pass, badges, whatever it is first, they're going to scan it to make sure it's fair. So I love how they said it. I would love to see how it executes, to be honest. But they can, like, they're not even allowed an entry if they scan and they're like, trying to go to do it when they don't have a valid reservation, blah, 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 kind of that. Last year they did, I kind of did a video. You guys can go back to my playlist of last year. They did good and they did bad. Okay, I'm extremely fair when it come to it. They did good. They let those with that need help time. You know how when you're bored on the flight, those with babies and need help go first. Kind of. I think that was extremely, extremely fair. I love that part of the thing. They take care of everyone, kind of, because we are all Pokemon family, right? You take care of everyone, those need more time to enter first. It makes freaking sense, that's how it works in the world. What they didn't do well, and I hope they improve this year, because they did it well in previous years. If you look at previous year's video, they just didn't do well last year. It's chaotic. People all ganging, grouping, whatever you call it, in the area, there's a big crowd in front of the area of entry, so it's kind of like a bottleneck because everyone trying to do it, and they didn't have speakerphone. I don't know what on earth those staff was thinking, to be honest. They had a speakerphone on day one when we were there. We were not going there that day. We were just trying to snatch someone that went in already to ask them what's the experience, because we're like, how long were you there? Because I was an idiot and I made all lunch reservations and dinner reservations like an idiot. And I was like, how long were you there? I actually have plans for lunch. I mean, I think I can cancel it. I need to cancel it because it's one of those lunch thing that you actually put your credit card on there. So if you're really not going, you need to cancel it, kind of type thing. And in general, you want to give the courtesy of the restaurant and cancel it if you're not going in the first place, right? So it's like, am I gonna be late? Am I gonna be there? Like, kind of like, and that person I was talking to, I snatched a guy and a girl because it's like, to me, like a guy and a girl is safer than just randomly talking to a guy or randomly talking to one girl, because they have a group and there's two of us, there's two of them, so it felt like a safer option to talk to some random people on the street. And I was like, how does it work? It turns out he was a participant and he shared his information, which is great, but basically he was like, it takes about an hour at least to go in, and then once you go in, that's probably going to take you another 30 minutes at least minimum, or an hour to go shop depending on how hard you go, so he was like, reservation, I told him the time because my slot is at 9 but my lunch is not until noon. So I was like, he's like, it's tight because once you get everything, it's really hard to haul everything to your lunch spot, because it's like you might want to put down stuff and then your lunch is like really tight and it's kind of far. So it's like he shared his like really honest opinion. So I'm still very grateful for you. Sorry I didn't catch your name, but I know you were participating in that year. Thank you for sharing. Anywho, I'm just saying, so don't make plans for the day you're going, or at least allow like 2 to 3 hours free time before your next whatever thing you have to do, because God knows how chaotic it would be. But like, yeah, they don't use speakerphones. There's a big crowd, bottleneck, stuck, whatever. But when it works, it works smoothly after. It's just smoothly up to a certain point again. But for the most part, entry, like, anticipate 3 hours. They just said there's no loitering and extended stay not permitted. I don't know how they execute it, because last year I don't see that executed. I see a bunch of people crowding the area, extremely chaotic, and entry. Once you enter, it's fine. It's just like before you enter, and there's speakerphones. They could have do song 1, song 2, for song 3, because it's like every 15 minutes they have an appointment. I think last year they could have do 15 minutes on the clock. That's just like 4, right? That's just 4. So you can just say like, if you have 9 o'clock, go here. 9:15, go here. 9:30, go there. 9:45, go there. And then it'll be 10 already, right? Go back to the same one. If you have song like that, it will be extremely beneficial, but they didn't do it last year. I think they did it in Hawaii, though, because I saw a video they did that. I don't know why the hell they didn't do it in Anaheim. Sorry, no pun intended, but they didn't do it. So hopefully they're going to make it well, because this year they're going to have logistics nightmare. 800 Howard Street, so that's like on the other side of the Moscow, kind of like not the main. Well, I don't know if they're gonna make it main. Whatever, it's on the other side where the Pokemon Center is. But then it's weird. Where's the Rayquaza one? They didn't say. I don't know where there's the Rayquaza. Nobody knows where's Rayquaza Road. There's not really a physical Rayquaza Road until you got there, so it'll be funny what it is and what it was like. They did say Pokemon Center is the one with the XP and Worlds exclusive merch. So like if you're into the plush or into the jersey, and last year that binders, sleeves, stack box, that kind of stuff, you probably want to book the Pokemon Center, because your Rayquaza is not going to have it. It's non-event exclusive. They did put out and say there is a limit on all ETB items, which they have. And they already say the ETB is going to be hand distributed. So most likely, my guess is it's kind of like your Target or your Best Buy or whatever. You go to the counter and said, I would like to purchase one blah, blah, blah. And you basically have one blah, 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 that blah, blah, blah. You have option A, B, and C, set meal. You pick one of them. You cannot pick all 3. You just can pick one. So that's what they have in the information. Like, you can get one of the ETBs, and you can get one of the bundles, subject to availability, of course. So that's why I was saying ABC, because I believe it was Ascending, Chaos, Chaos Rising, which is funny because Chaos Rising was released at the time when we went to Chicago, and it really was Chaos Rising because all the package was delivered, and then we have to ask our neighbors to grab it for us. So that's why Chaos Rising has a different meaning, because I kept messaging my neighbor, my good neighbors, like I was like, "Can you grab my package for me?" And it deliver again. Even I put my do not deliver. I did put a do not deliver to every single postage delivery service. Only USPS follow that. The other two places, I'm not gonna say which one, did not do that. Yeah, they did do it. They literally didn't do it. So everything was dumped to my house, and we're like, and then the worst part is, I believe it was going to rain or something. So I was like, "Can you put it out, please? Can you take my baggage, please?" It was Chaos Rising. Anyway, Ascending Hero, Chaos Rising, and what was the third one? The new one. No, not Darkness Ablaze. Whatever. Pitch Black. Pitch Black. Sorry, Darkness Ablaze. Pitch Black was the third one. So it's basically the latest free series, kind of. And yeah, it's not that. I think it depends on people's attitude. Like for us, we interested in the world's merch. Well, I told my husband I'm interested in the world's merch. Hopefully, get me something. Um, but yeah, I don't know what is in the Rayquaza one, and logistically, how does it work? Because how do they make sure the fair distribution of stuff? Like, what if they have all the ETB still in stock in the Rayquaza because people all signed up for the Pokemon Center? So then, if you sign up for Rayquaza, you get your ETB, or not ETB, because ETB is lottery, but like you get your booster bundles. As compared to if you sign up Pokemon Center, you probably not get anything because everyone signed up for Pokemon Center. Logistically, I think that was a nightmare. I don't know why they did that. They also didn't say where's the Rayquaza, and you can only go one over the other, right? Because they did this the batch scanning thing. It's gonna be a nightmare. It says the entrance is off the 4th Street on the northeast side of the building. So let's see where it is. And then the pin trading, like I said, is again same thing. Moscow Center and hotel. I don't know how they restrict it. It almost make it sound like it's a public event at this point. I'm not sure how that works. So there are like rumors online about the reservations. A lot of so they gotta scan or whatever. It sounds like they might need a phone to display your reservation, so you can just print it or something. It cannot be transferred. So it sounds like they're gonna be more strict in terms of. As last year, I can tell you, you just walk in there. Once you show you have a reservation time slot, you just walk in. Last year, it sounds like they're gonna do a lot tighten because they're gonna check your badges, which they did last year, but they're gonna check your badges of your +1 because they didn't do that last. I don't think they did the +1 badge check last year, but I might be wrong. But this year they're gonna check everyone's badge so that you can even pick up your badge in the first place. And then even with the badge, they're gonna scan and check your time on your phone for the QR. And they're most likely gonna be like the last year. They're gonna have an app you can download. And I know I don't have this problem. I was grateful I don't have this problem last year in Anaheim. But certain cell phone companies, specifically Mint Mobile, which I didn't use because we don't have it in our area actually, which is kind of funny. But like a lot of foreign participants, they use Mint Mobile, and they have terrible signal and Wi-Fi. They have a hard time getting on the Wi-Fi. Well, at least for the Pokemon Go side events, they had a hard time. So I hope somehow the mobile system works if they're using the QR code and everything. Maybe you can load it in a wallet and make everything easier. I don't know, to be honest. But it sounds like sounds like it's gonna be interesting in terms of because they're adding all the checkpoints into getting in, which is great because that means no scalpers. Well, at least to me, that means no scalpers. But also sounds like a nightmarish kind of guests will require everyone basically require reservations, which is kind of thing. And then for the ones that are buying the single pass, you can still sign up the store anytime you want. That, but you need to bring the badge. So you still need to. So say for example, Sunday was the last day, right? You need to pick up your badge before Sunday. If, for example, if you're attending the Pokemon Center on I don't know Friday, you need to pick up your badge on Friday, like before Friday, before your reservation, so that you can show them the pass, basically. So that makes sense. Payment is credit card usually. And these are like information you can read yourself, but basically what's the limit and everything. And there's also information about lottery. I'm not going to go there. My husband was asking, and he was. So this is Diff brand, Steiff actually is a Steiff. It's a German brand. So that is a brand I'm very familiar with because I used to be a plush toy collector and I was educated by my aunt who also runs toy shows, like, you know, when I was a kid. So I kind of like immersed in that world a little bit. Because she also runs gift shop and stuff, chained in the old days before she passed away. Anywho, that brand is like if you were in FAO in the old days in New York City, you saw that brand a lot. It's the brand that has a little yellow tag on usually the ears of the plush, like a bear, teddy bear or bunny or whatever or pig. Because I have a piggy one. They all has that yellow tag with red characters with a little button. Is that brand? My husband's like $400 for a plush. I was like, dude. So I had the Winnie the Pooh. I still kept that Winnie the Pooh. It's the only well, no, they. I also have a pig that I kept, but Winnie the Pooh was the expensive one. And I was like, dude, I paid $400 like 18 years ago. So like, you know, kind of. So he was like, I was like, but the difference is this time it didn't say mohair. So usually they have exclusive limited quantity ones that are either like rhinestones or mohair. So it's like it's more like an art piece kind of display piece, not as much as a playable piece. And I have a Winnie the Pooh of that, like I said. So that thing has to be in the box, but if I wait forever, I can't display it because I don't know how to clean it, the mohair. So I just take it out of the container, look at it occasionally, and put it back. Kind of. It has a wood display at the bottom too, so it's like a Winnie the Pooh on top of a roly-poly. Anyway, regardless, it cost that much, this brand. So my husband was like, $439.99. That's excluding tax, because like probably like not 10%. It's not like Chicago 10%. It's probably like 8 point something 9% tax. Yeah, it's like that's excluding tax. So I was like, yeah, but it's Steiff. It's limited edition. What do you want? So we are having that kind of conversation. I think I did a video on the Winnie Pooh. I don't know if I did already, but if not, I'll show it eventually one day. But that thing has been in its original box. I bought it actually on the sale too, but that plush was originally $400 and it was 18 years ago. So they didn't really increase the price if you think of it. Just the difference is I doubt this one is a mohair. For the same price, they can't keep it at that quality in terms of like mohair plush, you know, comparatively speaking. Of course, they have the bear walkers, but it sounds like they have 2 skateboard. Don't know what it looks like. And they're gonna make the pin collection, which is kind of downers to be honest, as a UTB lottery item. So like last year they have the jukebox and the statue. Doesn't sound like they have those this year. Not as cool anymore. But they did have 2 bear walker skateboard, but we didn't get that. We didn't get that last year. Last year they have UTB as a lottery item. They didn't do that this year. So yeah. So what happened is the theory was if you sign up later last year, because that's what someone told me that attended last year. We still keep in contact, you know, because we play the Go together. So we kind of like want to go battle together again if it's like It's like my husband. I get a 1-1 score. We need to break the tie. It's like one of those. So it's like that. So anywho, and he was like last year. So he signed up twice and was like, "It's you causing all these reservation chaotic thing." But anyway, he signed up twice. He went twice last year, and he was saying the first day he attended, and he don't remember which one is the first day. I was like, first day, you mean Wednesday or you mean Friday? Because that's a huge difference, right? He's like, I don't remember, but they have stuff there. But then they don't have ETB when he went there that day. So I was like, ETB is a lottery. What are you talking about? They're like, no. If you go later, like, I think he's saying Saturday or Sunday, like late Saturday, Sunday, they have surplus of ETB because people didn't pick up the lottery items. Because you didn't pay the lottery items. You just win and then you go or not go, right? So people didn't pick up the lottery items and they're basically selling all that stuff. Well, at MSRP. But still, you get cards. So he was like, he don't know if he wants to chance it for later because they might have, people didn't pick up the items and then you can buy it then or something. I was like, okay, so you want to gamble to get it later. They're like, yeah, I'm not sure if we want to go early this year because last year they kind of like, when they first go there, there's like nothing. There's no cars. So if your goal is the cars, then there's no point of going early. You just go late instead. Then at least you get some cars potentially. Not sure how that works this year, actually. Especially with the 2-place allocation. Because like I said, everyone might want to sign up for the Pokemon Center one, right? Not the Rayquaza one. That means Rayquaza, if you sign up for it, if you want to gamble that way, Rayquaza, if you go late, you're probably going to have all the cars there. So yeah, sign up for Rayquaza if you want cars. We have no idea how that's going to work, but this is all speculations and back policies just like last year. Do they have FedEx? They don't have FedEx this year. Like they had it last year, I believe, or something. They have it in a Hyatt, and then they have a UPS or something at the Westin. But this year, they said they don't have it, but they have it right across the hotel, which is where the card trading show is anyway, and where the pin trading is. So it's right across the street. But don't be too comfort with that news, because it's right across the street. The problem last year is, for those who watched my video last year, and do check out my video if this was their first year from last year, there's a whole playlist, by the way. Anyway, the problem is I have to go from UPS. So there's 2 UPS. I believe there was 2. No, there's 1, but it's actually not inside Hyatt Hotel. It's like right across to some sort of resort swimming pool area or something. Anyway, it took me a while to find it eventually. It's not inside. Or there was 2 that went. I don't know. Anyway, I went to the FedEx, sorry, not UPS. I went to the FedEx. They don't have it. They don't have boxes. So I only asked for 2 things. I was like, number one, do you like boxes? And they have no boxes. They sold off every single possible size of the box you're looking for. Because everyone cannot carry that darn big statue last year and a jukebox. So everyone tried to ship it. So I was like, okay, you have no boxes. Do you have cushion, peanuts, packing, anything? Nope. Sold everything. I was like, oh my God. So then I walked to the Westin Hotel solo. No food at that point. Tired. No breakfast, no lunch. Don't do that. Well, I'm doing that just because I'm on bracelets this year, but don't do that. You need energy. You need sugar. Anywho, walk all the way to Westin and also buy someone lunch. Because someone was like, I'm too tired. He went back to the hotel early. Anywho, went to UPS. They don't have boxes big enough for my jukebox. And because I packed 10,000 times before, I know you can, they call telescoping the boxes. Basically, you stack 2 boxes as if it were 1 box so that it kind of fits still. And then I actually brought tapes. So I have tapes. I don't have bubbles, but I can buy bubbles. They have bubbles. And I telescope the box because they don't have a big enough box. So I guess the moral of the lesson is if there is a big item, I don't know the skateboard, what the skateboard's like, but if they have big items, you try to like if you're trying to get the ferret, like the Seshu sama, like in Yasha they have the ferret that's that big, huge. You're trying to carry that in a suitcase and you don't have a suitcase big enough and you're trying to get a box. Don't be too confident you can just buy a box because even they had the FedEx store nearby, they might not have the box size that you need. Well, I think there's probably a Ross down the street. You can buy a suitcase or something. I mean, worst case scenario, I don't think they have a Ross there last year. There's a Ross nearby, like because you're in San Francisco, right? In downtown, there's a Ross there, so you can buy a suitcase in worst case scenario. But I'm just saying, don't bank on that shipping wise and everything. Anywho, all the information is in the FAQ. I just kind of like do a quick rundown. The chaotic part for me is two places. Why two places? How logistically they evenly distribute the products. I don't know how they do that. Second, why they only disclose one of the location and not the other location where it is. I don't know where's that Rayquaza road. Which one is Rayquaza road? So the different in hours too. Because they made it pretty clear you can only enter once. So you basically have to pick which one. So I guess if you want exclusive items, you have to pick the other one. But then the problem is everyone wants exclusive ones. I don't know. I'm assuming they're going to pick a limit. So best case, I'm guessing, will be distributed or just chance they go to Rayquaza because everyone's going to go to the first one. You can probably find someone going to the first one, and then you can get your cards into Rayquaza instead yourself. That's my guess. My husband's not listening to me, of course, because he's going and he's not listening to me. And I'm not reserving for him anyway, so I don't care. But I just want to show you guys this FAQ. Do check it out. And it also sounds like a logistical nightmare. It's like, so it sounds like they're going to have Moscow Center and the hotel, atrium at least, or more potentially, as the pin trading, card trading area. I don't know how that works, like how they restrict, or maybe it's open to public. And if you're open to public, then it's going to be what are the rules? Because last year they have all the rules of trading, right? Does it mean scalpers wins? I don't know. I hope they have more information on that. Sorry, this video is very long. Let me know if you have some insider news because I am not feeling with. I'm just thinking. I know it's large. It's a huge event. It's more than any participants. It's more than any years ever because of the 30th anniversary. It just sounds like a nightmare at this point. When the more I read it, because you cannot restrict who can enter the hotel. Like how you can't. You literally can't. How do you do that? Are you going to have enough security? Because you don't want to be like Korea with the stampede. Well, not exactly stampede people. Like with all that crowd and the cancel event. You don't want that in the 30th anniversary, right? How they safeguard all the fans. The logistics nightmare of product distributions. And the safety with crowd control, kind of. And for those that follow the Tenderloin Facebook group, activity is Tenderloin activity Facebook groups. You guys knew that what's that chicken place called? The fried chicken place, Jubilee, just opened. I think like 2 days ago or something. I forgot, but very recently, and already, and that was very close, by the way, to everything we talk about. It's very close to IKEA and Fifth and Market and everything. They already have activities there. Arrest this today. That's like. The store opened in less than a week. They're already doing it outside the store. So it's too close to home too. So I'm just thinking, I told my husband, like, be careful, man. Just like, no crowd, don't go. Like, if you don't see a crowd, don't go. But if you see a crowd, don't go either. So it's kind of like very contradicting. If you see a crowd, don't go because it's not safe because you don't know how well they control the crowd controlling. But if you don't see a crowd, don't go because you don't want to go on the street alone because you don't know what's happening because he don't know the area well enough to know if he's going to cross the wrong street for lab, I would say, or the wrong area of the pockets of area. Like I said, every city has one. But if it's a new city you're not familiar, that's just kind of like, just be careful out there. So yeah, read it up, guys. Hope you guys enjoy today's video. Until next time, have a good one, guys. Bye!